I will call to order the 232nd meeting of the Equal Employment Practices Committee. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
A second.
The minutes of, the meeting minutes of June 21st, 2019 is approved. Okay, we have, the third thing on the agenda is the audit update, status of sexual harassment, prevention and response practices, and community board audits. Okay,
It's the sexual harassment for every agency.
okay.
So, as you know, we've started 48 audits for this year. And from those 48, we've actually started 39, which is 81%. We have, to date, we have 21 preliminary determinations that we've sent. We have 18 final determinations. And there are 18 preliminary determinations currently being drafted. So, we're pretty much on target. Well, we think
So
that
you
we'll.
think you're gonna complete the 39?
Right. Today, however, we have 2 final determinations for the commission's vote. It's the Department of Record and Information Systems and the Queens County Public Administrator. These two will be, oh no, I'll let you talk about the number in compliance that we're up to.
Where are we with the Queens County District Attorney?
They're fine, they're in the compliance monitoring period.
There, we sent that letter,
We sent a letter to the EEO officer, pretty much, and copying the
acting
public
DA,
Acting.
district attorney, saying that your compliance monitoring period is about to expire, we're concerned about your pace. So since then, we've gotten some information from the EEO officer.
Okay, so that seems to have cleared itself up.
We'll see.
Well, he reached out and he's been providing updates in Team Central system, but none of the updates have been sufficient to demonstrate implementation. It's more, we're working on implementing this, we're working on creating this, or following up with this. So the effort seems to be there, but we haven't had a lot of real actualization of the implementation yet. So, but we still have 3 months left of compliance monitoring with them. He seems like he really wants to try to make this happen, but they are having that change of administration. So, but he's been open with the communications. He's been in contact with us. He's been responsive every time we reached out to him. So, hopefully, we can get some progress made in the next 3 months.
All right, I was just curious.
Yeah.
And if we need to contact the new person and maybe give them a summary of what has happened so far, we can, if we don't see any movement. And they come in
Well, it's
after
not
the,
clear who the Queens
after the
DA is gonna
recount.
be, and it's not clear when we're gonna know who the
Right.
Queens DA is, so, hopefully this gets resolved before that gets resolved.
So, yeah, so we're working hard and, we're more than half of the way there, so. We'll see. Okay,
All right, final determination resolutions, we are voting on 2 of them. Resolution 2019 AP/232/860, the Department of Records and Information Services, and Resolution 2019 AP/232-944, Queens County Public Administrator. May I have a vote of motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those 2 resolutions have been approved. Now we're up to compliance update.
So we kind of talked about it briefly. We have 3 compliance resolutions on the agenda today for the Department of Records and Information Services. You'll see they have their final determination and their compliance resolution on the same agenda because they had no corrective actions. So
My goodness gracious.
yes, they
Can
were.
we applaud them?
We We did on the telephone conference, they are very thorough and, very cooperative, so. And we also have, compliance for the Landmarks Preservation Commission, which I believe only had one corrective action, and that was, submission of an annual plan, which they had done, but it wasn't finalized because they were waiting for approval from DCAS, so they were really in great shape too. And Brooklyn Community Board number 9 as well. That brings us to compliance 24 for 2019, so we've had 24 compliance resolutions issued this year. Additionally, in compliance monitoring, we have the 3 agencies that were the follow-up audits for the EPA, which we just spoke about. The Queens County District Attorney, the Office of the Bronx Public Administrator, which has 3 outstanding corrective actions, and the Richmond County Public Administrator, which only has 1 outstanding corrective action. Their compliance ends at the end of summer and beginning of fall, so I'm hoping that if not the district attorney, the other 2 public administrator offices will hopefully be done with compliance monitoring. We also have another 4 agencies in compliance monitoring for the 2019 audit that we're doing. That's the Department of Finance, Brooklyn Community Board number 7, Brooklyn Community Board number 3, and the Queens County Public Administrator. They only have 4, 5, 2, and 2 for corrective actions. So it's not, they're in good shape, and they're
Not terribly
no,
honest.
no. So I do anticipate that hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have another handful, if not more, of compliance, resolutions for you guys.
So our
to
next
approve.
meeting's in September?
Yes, September 5th.
September 6th.
5th.
So that gives you, you're probably right about it. About that.
I think so.
So,
Says September
just to,
6th.
September 5th,
Good.
just to interject, if we complete the 48 audits that we have on this year's annual plan, we'll only have about 28 remaining audits for this topic next year.
Yeah. And therefore,
Wow.
what's our next?
Our next topic is, we're gonna go back to the employment practices audit, which is in line with local law 13. So, that's the exciting one.
That's the one.
The exciting one, yes. Has to do with underutilization and adverse impact, those things. So,
In line with doing that and going through, so next year, part of your other planning is to do another conference. Right?
I think what we could do is we can do, and I spoke with, I'm gonna introduce you to the new, director of research at the meeting. But I think what we could do is we can talk about our findings with regard, citywide findings with regard to the sexual harassment audits.
That's true.
If that sounds like something we can do.
That's a good idea, and it gives Helen the opportunity to come and talk.
And Lord knows we want that.
Well, I was just, I mean, since that was her baby, for want of another term, it seems to me that you would, and since she proposed it and was the moving behind it, it seemed that our activity following up as to which came first, who cares? But it's a response back to the city council and probably an ability to have a discussion, I would say, what's next?
Right.
Because it's one thing to articulate and find out what happened. It's another thing to look at what's the training, how effective has the training that they were implementing at the time? How effective has it been? Has the city been a model for has the city employment days been a model for the other employers within the city? Maybe need a response or some other, there are lots of different ways of looking at it. And since it has, heaven forbid, it's still the Me Too movement, but if you look at the number of cases that continue to come out, I mean, I think the current one with, I've decided not to remember his name, but this dealing with children trafficking of underage children, and the, if you will, the influence of power and money, and the people on both sides of the aisle that seem to have been tangentially involved, whether or not they really partook of the issue or not. The fact that you find pictures of our president with him and pictures of a prior president with him, you have to begin to question how the issue, and it's really part of sexual harassment, only it's underage girls that were part of a sex trafficking. It continues to be relevant, and maybe it really is something that we talk about. What next? What are the next undertakings here? And have spend some time.
So-
How do you change a culture? Is really the question. You can't do it through legislation, so how do you change the culture?
I kind of disagree with that. I think legislation and
It's a
policy
start.
helps. Yeah.
It's a
They
start.
help, but they don't.
No, they don't fix everything, and they don't fix everything immediately, but they certainly push people,
They
they
try.
push us in the right, push us. So I believe in
Well, I'm not far, but the issue, I think, is far greater
Oh, of course.
than the legislation. It's a cultural change.
Right,
And as you listen to the Secretary of Labor say, well, it was a while ago we looked at it. Excuse me? It was a violation of the law a while ago. Sexual trafficking was, I mean, anyway.
so, the compliance resolutions, did they vote?
No.
So that's what, we'll get something together, just an outline
Yep.
for the commission.
But I raise it because once you get through this and you're finished with it, it does form the basis for a
Right.
discussion.
What I think we can do is, we can do the 28 remaining agencies, because
I'm sorry?
I tried to get all of the agencies into 3 years rather than 4 years. So we can do those agencies, and then we can do a public hearing in the same year.
Do it, if you
can.
finish it, you could even do your public hearing before you complete it, although you probably want to tie it up and finish it. So if you do them in the beginning, you could probably finish them in 6 months, so 7 months.
But the data,
You have to compile it, so, all right.
we'll
You
see.
could do a hearing by December.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so,
Compliance resolutions need to be voted on.
Do we need to vote on the compliance resolution?
Yes.
yes,
Okay, resolution 2019 AP/232/860, Department of Records and Information Services. Resolution 2019 AP/232-136, Landmark Preservation Commission. Resolution 2019 AP/232-479, Brooklyn Community Board Number 9. Can I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve as promoted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have adjourned.